It's quite a lot. Maybe I don't want to do this. Oh, it's filming already. I didn't even click this. I will just have to snip some parts. Alright. Hey guys, welcome back on the YouTube channel. Cause this is a YouTube video. Um I want to do something fun today. Oh, camera's not straight. I want to do something fun today. Cause I know that life can be sometimes boring, You grab your phone, you're scrolling through social media, and then the next thing you know, you're watching sad things, you're watching horrible things going around the world, you're watching crazy things going around the world, you're watching people do amazing stuff at the same time, and you don't really know how to feel, and you forget something so simple like imagination. So what we're gonna do today, pretty much imagination. So I'm gonna ask you to just imagine things. So the first thing I want you to imagine is you're standing on top of a balcony of a building in New York City. New York, those of you who don't know where New York is, it's one of the biggest city in the United States of America. Now, you're standing on top of that apartment, on top of that balcony. No, you're standing on the balcony, but on top of the apartment, like the top level, top floor. And you're seeing the society move around you. You're seeing people go to work. You're seeing children go to school. You're seeing different things happening in New York. You're seeing taxi drivers, different things happening in New York. I just want you to imagine that for a second. Now, second imagination. I want you to imagine you just woken up from your bed. So you're just woken up from your bed. You get out of your bedroom and you come to the living room and you see your entire family. I'm not talking about your generic family, mom and dad, or your children. I'm talking about your entire family, like everyone that you know right now that is your entire family. They are all sitting in the living room and they look at you when you come out of the bedroom door. They look at you when you come out of the corridor. Your entire family. I just want you to imagine that for a second. I also want you to imagine you walking into an office building, you walking into a workplace building, and you look on your left and you see so many cubicles of people on the computers doing work, like in an office space, an open office space where everybody has a computer, everybody is doing something. I just want you to imagine that. I also want you to imagine that you're sitting in the couch by yourself. As you're sitting in the couch by yourself, you grab a remote, you open the TV, you turn on the TV, and you're watching National Geography. And National Geography has this amazing scene of nature. And in that amazing scene, there is animals, there is plants, there is all types of wildlife that you know. I just want you to imagine that for a second. I also want you to imagine that you're sleeping and you're watching the history of the entire planet from the start to the end. So you're watching the history of the entire planet from the start to the end. You're watching how wars happen, you're watching how many people die, you're watching how many people born, you're watching how society move from different empires to different empires. Quite a lot of things to imagine. So I'm actually quite asking you a lot. You know, last time on the previous video, I gave you an exercise. I hope you did it. I gave you an exercise to search for your identity by doing reflection. But I know that's such a vague thing to ask. Because the truth is, most people won't know how to search for that. Like, how do you search for that? You won't know how to search for that. So I created this. I created these circles. I call them circles. I created these circles so you will have a special tool to search for your identity very, very quick. Absolutely, very, very quick. Now, don't get too ahead. Just listen. Let me explain first. Now, I want to do an exercise. I know some of you guys will say, oh, why is he talking about that? Well, guess what? I'm going to talk about it anyway. I want you to do an exercise right now. Around you, look at the entire planet. Look at the solar system, the universe. What do you see? You see something, right? You see something. You see a value. There is a value you see. That value is the value of 1. You could divide that value into multiple numbers. But when you look at the universe, you look at everything that you see around you as that exists, that you can describe. They all have a value of 1. That's called unity. When we add every little pieces together, they come together, and that's a unity. I just want you to think about that. Now, the best way for you to search for your identity is by these circles. When you look at the circle of society, for your identity, for your talent, by looking at the circle of society and looking at your talent, where does your talent fit into the circle of society? How can you contribute to the society with your talent? When you have that circle of your family sitting in the living room, where do you fit in the lives of your family members? Where do you fit? Where is your destiny there? Where is your purpose in your family? Where do you sit? When you're sitting down on a chair and you're watching National Geography and you see that landscape, that beautiful landscape, that nature, and you see all the animals, the plants, and it's just beautiful because everything in that picture fits perfectly. I was moving the plant behind me, that plant behind me. I was moving in different places because I was searching the identity of this plant by its environment. In other way, I was searching where this plant fits and how can this plant serve its decoration purpose around this house. I was searching for this plant here, destiny, in a way. So when you walk into your workplace and you see everybody sitting on a cubicle of different computers, you're searching for your identity. It could be any type of workplace, but what is your purpose there? What is your talent there? It could be any workplace you're currently working right now. That's how you find your identity, when you decide what's the purpose that you're going to fulfill in a specific environment. Because you're not letting the environment cover your identity. Instead, the identity, has a purpose in that environment. So in that workplace that you have, whether you're a lawyer, teacher, whatever job you have, what is your purpose there? You must have an identity. That's what it's called position. It's called position, right? Now, we're not done. In history, your destiny in history, the history of this planet, the history of civilization, it's like a video game. What character of this video game of history in this planet are you playing? Are you playing an NPC? A non-playable character? Or Are you playing a specific character? Just imagine in history, like I told you to dream, imagine in the history of this civilization, in the history of this planet, your character that you have right now, what is your character playing? Is your character an NPC, or is your character an actual playable character in the game that actually accomplishes something, does something, has a purpose for something, is talented in something? And of course, the reason why I ask you all that is because when you actually find your identity in these different environments, you realize one thing. These environments, these environments are the value of one. You are just a piece of a puzzle of this environment. That's what your identity plays. Your identity is special. Your identity is a character in the video game. Your identity is special. So then, when we look at the last experiment that I was talking about, we are all something. It's impossible for us to have come from nothing. Therefore, because we are all something and everything is something, and it's impossible to create something out of nothing. It's impossible to create something out of nothing. Therefore, we've always been something. Therefore, that something is God. Because God is something that cannot be created. Therefore, when you look at all the universe, you can't create it out of nothing. Therefore, the collections of every single value, the assembly of every single value is what constitutes as God. In other words, your identity is special. Your identity is eternal. Your identity is just part of God. Of course, if you believe, unless of course you don't accept your identity, that's really up to you. But I'm sure you have a lot of questions. I will explain on the next video, but I will upload this video on YouTube. Bye.